Welcome to the Discount Property Investor Podcast, where we show you how to buy real estate at a discount so you can create wealth over time and income today. Our mission is to share what we have learned from the experience of others and help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate, the Discount Property Investor way. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, welcome back, Discount Property Investors. Thanks for joining us today. Your host, Mike Slane and David Dodge. And today we have a very special guest joining us, Tucker Merrihew, the host of the Real Deals podcast and the creator of the Driving for Dollars app. That app is going to be a game changer. If you haven't checked it out, you're going to have to. We encourage you guys to check out the discountpropertyinvestor.com, or to get started in real estate investing, check out the freewholesalecourse.com. A lot of great content on there. Tucker, you on the line with us?
I'm here, guys. I am here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate you coming out today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I know you guys are working fast and furious to get the show on the map and have it take off, which I'm sure it will. But I'm happy that you had me here as a guest.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Tucker, what market are you in, man?
I'm in the Portland, Oregon market. So kind of, the West Coast, of course. We're probably the cheapest big city on the West Coast. But if you ask anybody here, you'd say that it's insanely expensive compared to what it used to be. But, Portland is our main market.
Sweet, man. And you, like Mike said, you got two podcasts, a local podcast in Portland, I believe, and then you have the Real Deals podcast.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about those if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, the smaller show is our local one. Like I mentioned in our pre-roll, it's my labor of love show. I've got a co-host that's one of the biggest agents in town, and we just get to talk to anybody and everybody who's in the real estate biz here that's worth talking to, and we get to dissect the market on a monthly basis as well, which I enjoy doing. The national show is our much bigger show, and it's all about real estate investing, of course, and that's how we came across each other. And it's called the Real Deals podcast, and we've been doing that 3 years now this month, it's been a hell of a ride.
Man, that's great. 3 years. I love it. And the Real Deals podcast, that's the nationwide show. And what do you guys focus on with that?
So it's kind of been a journey of following my own business, but at the same time, we integrate in some kind of main topics on each show, different aspects of the business, anything from wholesaling, rehabbing, new construction, and everything in between and everything that goes along with it. So it's, we're 148 episodes in. So anything that has to do with real estate, we probably talked about it on that show, more specifically real estate investing.
Sweet. Well, guys, that's awesome. Check out Tucker Merrihew on the Real Deals podcast. And Tucker, again, thanks for coming on the show, man. We appreciate your time, and hopefully we can all learn something from you here today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Tucker, give us a quick understanding of how you got started investing in real estate.
Sure. So, Cliff Notes version is, I started in the mortgage business, and there was a day at the end of 2007, I think it was August 2007, when the record, the merry-go-round stopped, right? Or the record stopped, and it changed the real estate financing business and the real estate business as a whole forever. And I was the owner of a mortgage company at that point. And we didn't go down in flames or anything like that, but I definitely saw the writing on the wall, and I saw that the industry was going to change forever. And I didn't think for the better in a lot of ways, but not for the better in terms of prosperity for those that are in it. And just a lot of regulation and just a lot of red tape and limitations on what you can make. So I said, screw it. Let's, change the heading of the ship, and let's go full time into the real estate investment side of the biz. And that was about 2008. I had been doing a house or two at a time from about 2003 on, but most of it was stuff that I bought, lived in, fixed up, turned around and sold, and took some tax-free money off the table.
Okay.
But then in 2008 is when I really went full bore into continuing to do that strategy, but also adding to it a fair bit of a lot of volume on the investment side, fix and flips mainly.
Okay, cool. Why did you get into real estate? Was it just because the mortgage industry was kind of taking a turn?
Yeah, I always loved real estate. It was what I always wanted to do, right? But when I got into the mortgage game out of college, I was making so much money that it was hard to, it was like golden handcuffs, except it was my own business. It's hard to abandon ship when you're making that much money as a mid 20-year-old, you just don't want to just say, screw it, I'll do something else. You kind of slowly work your way towards doing that other thing. And then that day in 2007 came, and that was the point where I could make it make sense for me to say, you know what, now's the time to kind of pivot a little bit.
Sweet. So whenever you pivoted and you went from doing the mortgage industry and you started doing real estate investing, full time, what were you doing mostly? Were you wholesaling? Were you flipping, doing, rentals? What was your model at that point in time?
I mean, up until that point, I had done a lot of rentals and a lot of live-in rehabs. Looking back, I probably wouldn't have done as many rentals.
Those are fun, the live-in rehabs.
Well, I mean, improve them over time, live in them. I mean, It's a great way to living in, especially if you got a wife or kids, forget about it. Give me a gun, I'll put it in my mouth. But
right.
if you got, if you, buy a house, renovate it, live in it for a couple of years, turn around, sell it, it's a great way to make tax-free money. But I had done some rentals, and then at that point in 2008, I'd moved forward into mainly fix and flip. We couldn't do a whole lot of wholesaling because it was still that point in the market where everybody was afraid of real estate. And so if you were wholesaling, you were really giving away a lot more than you give away today, because everybody wants a deal today. Back in 2008, 2009, everybody was still scared of even a great deal. So it basically forced us to take down most of our deals, renovate them, fix them up ourselves, and put them back on the retail market. And at the end of the day, I'm glad that we did, because we were making great spreads for doing, really not that much work in hindsight. But it was just, that's where we were at in the market at the time.
That's pretty awesome. So I think you can kind of take away from that, though. So the market is pretty hot right now, and I guess especially over where you're at in Portland. So wholesalers are able to make, I think, probably a better spread. Do you think that's true or false with the current market?
True and false. It's true in the sense that if you're good, right, and you get a great discount, it's easy to sell that deal, right? People are paying almost too much a lot of the times for that deal to rehab it. And you're basically selling the dream, and everybody wants to buy the dream in an up market. In a down market, if you're selling the dream, there aren't very many buyers for the dream. That's just kind of the way it works. And so right now, if you get a great deal, you can make a great spread as a wholesaler. But you can make even more as a retailer. And so that's why now we do very little wholesaling, or we have over the past year, because we have enough capital of our own to put to work. So if we get a great buy, at a minimum, we'll wholesale it, which means we close on it, clean it out, put it, and maybe we just do a few little things, and we put it on the RMLS, and we let it get, we sell it for the most money possible, as opposed to just taking a quicker, smaller profit and selling it to somebody on, one of a buyer that we know personally. So that's at a minimum, we do that. And then most of the time we'll buy it, we'll fix it, we'll sell it, or we'll buy it, we'll tear it down, we'll build new and sell it.
Awesome. So that's actually something that I really want to just kind of retouch on here. Wholesaling is a great way to get started. And especially for those that don't have a lot of money or don't have any money, there's lots of ways to go out and source deals, via Craigslist, via Zillow, so on and so forth, bandit signs, that you don't need a lot of money. But once you start to build your business, like Tucker said, you can turn, those 5 or 10K deals into 15, 20,000 plus deals by taking those deals and actually closing on them and then putting them on the market. Simple clean outs, maybe even going and doing the rehabs. But oftentimes you can simply just clean them out, maybe do paint, carpet, put them on the market, sell them to a retail buyer, and then your profits, double, quadruple, so on and so forth. So speaking of ways to get leads, you have an app that, when we just did a podcast on this a couple of weeks ago, called Driving for Dollars. You are the founder and creator and owner of Driving for Dollars app. Is that right?
It is. And slick name, right?
Awesome. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the app, if you don't mind.
Sure. So, one of the big things that we do in my business is Driving for Dollars. We built a lot of lists, tons of lists. I mean, multiple thousands and thousands of potential leads on our Driving for Dollars list. And we build them for specific parts of town that we really want to consider our farm areas with our marketing. And so, as you can imagine, you build massive Driving for Dollars lists like that, it becomes a huge pain in the ass without any sort of technology to help you along the way. You're driving around, you're trying to write the addresses down. Once you get through all that, you bring it back to the office. You either have to hire somebody to look all that stuff up, whether it be VA or a local person, or do it yourself. And most of the time, any number of those barriers prevent people from doing it consistently or on any sort of a large scale. The irony is that the list you build is a great asset for your business because you've seen all these properties and you know that they need to sell to an investor at some point, right? So they're your best quality leads, but they're the biggest pain in the ass to take those leads and put them in a list and be able to then extract the data that you need in order to market to them. So what we did is we said, that's a major inefficiency in our business. How can we fix this? And, as we talked about in the pre-roll, it's been a 3-year tour to try to fix it, but we've now fixed it and we've created an app that essentially does all of the heavy lifting for you. So you still have to drive around and put your eyes on property, which is important because you need to know your areas and you need to get good at identifying what it is that we as investors should be buying. But whatever that is, you have an overhead view on your phone, like a Google Earth type view, and you can basically just touch each house that you see because it follows you around wherever you're driving. You just touch the house, it adds it to the list, you run the list, and it pulls all the owner information and mailing address for you, puts it in a mail merge ready CSV file, and you can hit go as soon as you get back to the office, get the marketing cranked out, and get it out the door. So it eliminates a major inefficiency in the business, and it speeds up your ability to market driving for dollars lists by an insane amount of time.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. So as Tucker mentioned in the pre-roll, I had spoken really highly of it when it first came out, and I was super excited. And then like he said, he had 3-year labor of love to get it really up and cranking for us now. So if you haven't checked it out, now's the time. I'm super excited to start using it again in our business.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, since we relaunched it on Friday, we've used it ourselves to build out, parts of town that we just never got to do it, and now we can do it for ourselves as well. So it's basically an app we built a little self-serving on our own business, but now it's available for everybody else to use as well.
Awesome. Where can the listeners find that? Just go to the Apple Store?
Yeah, go to the iTunes Store. It'll be in the Google Play Store in about a week for the Android version, but the iPhone version is available now. You just go to iTunes and search Driving for Dollars app. We made it so simply named that it's hard not to find it. So just go search that and it'll pop up.
Yeah, great name, Tucker. That's awesome. That's I have it on my phone, and like Mike said, I used it a couple times. And now that you got it all, all the bells and whistles all lined up and got all the kinks worked out, man, I'm excited to get using it again too. It's a great resource. I'm out looking at properties all day long, 2 to 3 properties a day, I'd say on average. And I drive by tons of them that I'd love to be able to market to. And with this app, that's going to give me the ability to literally create my own list as I'm driving around, export it. It exports out to a CSV if I'm
Yep.
correct, right? Yep. And then you can then just start mailing right to those people. It's actually really, really awesome, guys. So check out Driving for Dollars app. And Tucker, what would you say? I'm asking is, what would be one piece of advice that you could give our listeners that kind of resonates with you, that has helped you grow your business?
The best piece of advice I can give you is learn the direct mail game or the direct to seller game. There's a lot of different ways to do it in terms of generating leads directly, direct seller leads. As you mentioned before, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I personally love direct mail. The reason why is because it's the most targeted way you can do it in terms of type of property and part of town. So if you get good at marketing to sellers, you write your own paycheck. That's really the way this business works. And those people that do that, they're basically the inventory providers for the world, right? Whether it be for their own business or for other investors that feed off of their inventory from their marketing efforts, they control the flow of inventory. They control their own paycheck. And so I think that's the skill set that really you need to have first and foremost. There's a lot of others that, you need to learn along the way as well. But if you can learn how to generate leads and, consistently purchase properties directly from sellers at good prices, you'll have, it's very easy to become financially free. Let's put it that way.
Awesome. Very, very good piece of advice, guys. We definitely talk about that in the first couple episodes of our podcast, how to start how doing your direct mail. Bandit signs are a great way as well. And, of course, now we have the Driving for Dollars app. So check the app out. But I agree with Tucker 100%. Learn how to market directly to the seller, and you won't have a problem making money in this business.
Yeah, it's just a skill set that there's just so much to learn, right? I mean, when you guys probably got into real estate, me too, it's like there's so many different ways you can go, and it just kind of shiny ball syndrome, right? It draws your attention here, it draws your attention there. But really the focal point should be, learning how to make the phone ring. And once you can do that, the rest will figure itself out.
I agree
Absolutely.
completely.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better, man. You got to make your phone ring and then answer it. That's the name of this game, I think. So
Sweet.
Yeah, and a lot of realtors don't know that either. I mean, really, I often joke if I wanted to be a realtor, I could probably kill it beyond anybody in our town because most of them don't have any clue how to make the phone ring, right? And we could take our skill set and run it over into that world as well. But it's a skill set not a lot of people have. That's my point.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of our missions is to help people learn how to start investing in real estate, how to market direct to the sellers. So, absolutely couldn't agree more. Tucker, we do appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on the show. We do want to, encourage all of our listeners, check it out. Driving for Dollars app, check out Tucker's show, the Real Deals podcast. And of course, check out Discount Property Investor. If you're looking for deals in the St. Louis area, you can subscribe to our emails and check out the deals that we have on our site currently. And of course, as always, guys, we have put together a really awesome course to get you started doing wholesale deals today. freewholesalecourse.com. Check it out. It's absolutely free and tons of video and content in there. We want to teach you. We want to help you. We want to provide value to help you start making money. And as Tucker said, become financially free. So, Tucker, anything else that you want to add to the listeners?
No, I think we covered some great ground, but thanks, guys, for having me on the show. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on the show. Mike, you want to end us out with a quote?
absolutely. Work until your idols become your rivals.
I dig it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
We're coming for you, Tucker.
I dig it.
That's right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thanks in advance for your support. And remember, you make your money when you buy and get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.